nothing like a 1-week vacation to break up the monotony. Yep, last week, TV Asahi's regular programming took the week off, so I did as well. Went to see Pokemon I Choose You, excellent movie by the way, and now I feel completely recharged. Even though these videos, as well as Toy's copyright claims, will probably drain me. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there, which should only really take a couple weeks. So the episode opens with the Elder revealing to the Precure that he had organized a little summit inviting all of the fairies in the area. And apparently he chooses to tell them about this little detail just as they were all gathering on their doorstep. Jeez, I didn't think they would take my Deluxe 3 joke all that seriously. But at least that means that Toy is watching my videos and copyright claiming them. Damn it all. They hold a little presentation where they reiterate stuff everyone already knows about and then give some boring ass speeches, so yeah, pretty much like every other summit you've ever been to. The big speech of the summit came from the Precure themselves, trying to reassure their fairy friends that they'll take care of Noir no problem. Their audience gives them probably one of the most appropriate of responses. Okay, if anything else, this season probably has one of my favorite groups of fairies ever. Since they weren't connecting with their audience in story, or IRL for that matter, they decided to win them over with some sweets. Cause when all else fails, use bribery. That's the American way. Nice to see that Trump left somewhat of a good impression in Japan, even though he can't feed fish properly. Amongst the fairies at the summit, all of the former thieves were also in attendance, and boy, some of their natural colors are a lot different than their evil forms. Gummy at one point pays a visit to the still sleeping Picario, who honestly he has every right to be pissed off at, as he was the one responsible for turning him into a monster, but he doesn't, as he admits he was just as much at fault. He leaves his former tormentor a donut by his side and wishes him the best. Why did the former villains get better characterization than our heroines? Meanwhile, thanks to some advice from Eliseo, Grave manages to gain better control over Diablo's powers and uses it on the town, converting everyone into his slaves. Said slaves end up looking like his usual minions, which make Bipley literally run for the hills to get the Precure. Ah, you're freaking out too much, Bipley. Grave's guys are just a bunch of cute little scam. Okay, these guys aren't quite as cute. Anyone else getting some headcrab vibes? The Precure arrive and initially engage the mind-controlled masses, but falter after breaking the giant novelty mask they were wearing and learn the shocking truth. Not wanting to hurt their family and friends, they stop trying to fight back altogether.
Now I will destroy you, and all these creatures won't be able to fight back.
You guys do realize you just saved a few of them by simply breaking those masks, right? I mean, I'm not sure if they're free from Graves' control or not, but it did at least knock them out without causing any serious harm. Just saying, it's kind of worth a shot to destroy the mask. No? You're not gonna try it? Alright. Well, at least they tried to reason with Grave and tried to find the goodness in his heart, which I'm sure is there. Nope, he's just a jerk. Furthermore, he inhales some of his engine's fumes, god, that can't be good for your lungs, and unlocks his burning form, I guess? The Precure immediately try to counter by using their finisher. Oh, come on, guys. Don't you know one of the basics of toy productions? Never use your finishers before the 20-minute mark. You see? Meanwhile, Bipley helps evacuate the fairies back into the mountain range, but even that's not enough to hide them from Grave's forces and their sheer numbers. She tries her best to protect the fairies, even using some latent magic she just so happens to have on hand, but it's not enough. Thus, the Precure Shrine decides to provide some backup. Oh great, our heroines are going to be saved by yet another Deus Ex Machina. Okay, what is it this time? Oh! Okay, I think I kind of like this Deus Ex Machina. Yep, everyone's favorite waffle brother, Julio, finally wakes up. He saves the fairies and joins the Precure as the episode ends. Darn it. While I am glad to see things starting to pick up again, and this episode by itself is perfectly fine, I gotta say, it does highlight a major problem with this series overall. Our heroines are kind of useless. Alright, positives first. Obviously, as I just said, it's great seeing Julio back in action and pulling a full face turn. And he's not the only one. Gummy shows genuine compassion towards Julio in spite of everything he had done to him. And Bipley, on top of being pretty hilarious in this episode, also showed a good amount of courage, doing her best to protect the fairies. My only problem with this episode is that I wish I could give the same kind of compliments to our actual heroines. Seriously, I get that this is supposed to be a two-parter, but so far, they've done next to nothing. Even though their town has been taken over and they're shown a possible method of rescuing everyone, they failed to capitalize. I wouldn't be bothered by this at all if, say, they at least tried to break the mask at first, but then Grave just remasked them, showing that their efforts are futile. But nope, rather than taking just a few minutes out of the episode to show something like that, what did they do?
This is the part where you push out!
Man, those fairies were right to give them those cold stares. It's a sad state of events when 3 former villains come off as better heroes. Well, as long as I get to see some good Julio action next week, I guess I can sit back and watch the real heroes work. If you haven't seen it yet, I posted up the second part of my Kya Pretty Cure manga review, where our heroines actually do their jobs a little bit better. And at the end of that video, I provided a preview of what my next big project is. Check it out and find out for yourself. And until then though, farewell for now my friends, and if it's not one thing, it's another. Yeah, that's it, sir. Come a little closer. Closer. Closer.